Hi, I'm Jackie Jens and welcome to Carolina Crafting. Today's trek will take us back to Murphy, North Carolina to visit with the Umbachs. Bobby is a fused glass artist and her husband Ken has been painting in several mediums for over 50 years. No matter what medium he chooses, he is truly gifted. First up is Ken. Let's go to his studio and see what he's up to today.
What I'm doing now is a series of tree paintings and landscapes, and I've gotten into the idea of texture in the painting with some 3D effect. In this painting there's a contrast between the background of the sky and the tree because I've actually put modeling paste and putty on the canvas and then painted on the top of that, and then you can see some of the depth in the foreground here also. And in this painting, it's actually an interesting technique in that you do underpainting, and then after you have painted the underpainting, then I actually put a tissue paper gel medium layer on top of that, and then some modeling paste here for the trees in order to give a great deal of depth to the painting. And for instance, in this area, this blue is all underpainting under the tissue, and this green area in the front is all underpainting under the tissue. I can demonstrate what I did with that other picture in terms of this is an underpainting of the painting, and now I will put tissue paper on top of it and then paint on top of the tissue paper after it dries. What I have to do is use what we call a gel medium, which is actually just a clear acrylic. And when you put this on, it obviously has a kind of a white appearance to it. But when it dries, all that white area will go away and it will become clear. And first you put down the tissue paper with just water, and you can see that it gives you wrinkles and a really interesting texture.
Also, you can manipulate it the way you want it at this point too.
Yeah, and actually it's interesting. Sometimes you can, I'll demonstrate with just this little piece, but you can actually fold it in a way that when you put it down, it gives you the effect of trees. Now, after you get it with the wet water and get it the way you want it, then you put just a very thin coating of the gel on top of it. It acts like a glue, and when that dries, some of this will still be there, but most of it will dry so that it's almost transparent and you can see right through it. And I'll do that over this entire area. This is a triptych series of paintings that I did of trees, and actually they're monoprints to start with, which is that you paint on this surface, which is UPO paper. It's actually not paper, it's plastic, and therefore it doesn't absorb the paint. And you can take this after you painted on it and print different colors, and then because it's a slick surface you can actually wipe the paint off of it and put other colors down. And there's a series of prints that I've done on these, and then towards the end I started to change the color so that I ended up with a green one and an orange one and a blue one. I can demonstrate that printing process. I'm not really going to end up with anything that's really great here, but the process will at least be demonstrated. First you put down something so that the paint will move even more than it would on just the slick surface, and in this case this is actually Dawn liquid soap. You just put the paint down and you can mix it on the surface.
Even the bubbles from the Dawn will add texture.
You can do different things to it if you want. And then you just turn it over, put it down on the paper, and then lift it up.
Oh, neat.
And it gives you some interesting things. And actually it's a reverse shape. And then you can actually just clean this off. And if you want to really clean it off, you can use water and it'll take almost all of the paint off. And then you can paint a different color in. And oftentimes you would let this dry before you put it down, but you can put it down wet and make another print on top of that, and it will give you different things. And then if you don't like exactly what's going on, well, you can work with a brush and do some things to it.
It gives you lots of possibilities with that type of print.
You can do animals with this approach. I've seen some really interesting paintings where someone took a fish and they kept working the different layers and created all kinds of colors that worked with the scales of the fish.
That would be neat, yes.
This is actually painted on this plastic surface. And the thing that's interesting about painting with the plastic surface is that you can paint on it, or you can also remove the paint the same way we removed it from there. So you can keep building up layers, and if you don't like something, if you feel you've made a mistake, you can just wipe it right off and start over.
Forever, that'll always be...
It'll always be possible to take this paint off if it is water soluble, like watercolor paint. In this case, this is acrylic, so once it dries, it becomes really plastic, and so it won't come off once it's dry.
Ken, you have another medium you work in. Tell us about that.
Yeah, this is an ink and wash medium that I've used. Actually, I do what I call blind contour drawing of people, and it's more of a caricature type of thing, and yet what I'm trying to do is to get the character of the person rather than a physical likeness of them.
Their essence as opposed to their physical.
And so if I were going to try and draw you, I might, and this is very quick, so you won't be insulted, I hope.
At my age, blur the lines a lot.
I'm just really trying to show the technique. Because after I've drawn something, then I'll take a spritz bottle and just hit it here and there and let the painting and the lines kind of blur and run wherever they want to. And then after that's dried, then I would go back in and do some more drawing on it. And I might take a brush and move some of this paint too. But you get really interesting effects by spritzing things and letting it run.
Are these people you know, or people that pose for you?
Well, a lot of these were done from photographs. I just would see a photograph and it really kind of struck me as somebody who was very interesting, and then I tried to work from that. But it's an interesting technique, and you don't necessarily have to do faces. You can do almost anything. This is kind of an abstract of horses.
Yeah, horses.
But you can see how it actually paints itself. It makes you look much better than you are.
And I need that. I definitely need that. So it's just a marker, and water.
It's got to be water soluble.
Water soluble
markers.
And
if they're permanent, then you have to use turpentine, which I don't like to do. No. These are sketches that I then use to develop a painting. And how I did this particular painting was I actually photographically blew this painting up on a sheet and pasted it down on the surface. And then after it was pasted, then I painted and worked over it. You can see that I used some modeling paste to develop texture around the face, but left the face area smooth, and then worked color in this case monochromatic color, just a kind of green over the whole thing, because the name of this particular painting was Vexed. He looks a little bit ticked off at somebody. And then I worked again on the line work in the face. But it's a way of taking sketches that you do and turning them quickly into paintings.
In our next segment, we'll go down to Bobby's studio and see what she's doing. Bobby's new to the art world. She had not found her passion until she was introduced to fused glass.